Hey everybody, welcome back to Hawks DIY. I'm Chuck, and I got another project going. So it's been a while since I posted. Late 2025, I just had a lot of stuff to do and just kind of had to put the filming on the back burner for a little while. But today I got another good video. We're going to be working on my 2024 Paul Reed Smith guitar. And we're going to be filing, crowning, and polishing a few high frets. I got a little bit of fret buzz, so we're going to fix that. So we'll be going inside. And also I'm going to install a Seymour Duncan JB model humbucker in the back. And that's scheduled to be shipped here tomorrow. So we're going to do that as well. So looking forward to it. So anyway, I guess to kickstart, that's another thing, it's 2026, so January 4th, Happy New Year everybody. And I guess to start off the year, we're gonna do a guitar video. So let's get going. Hey everybody, well I made it inside and getting ready to get started. One thing I just wanted to mention was I was on New Year's Eve, I was in a live feed on Hawkeye Marine. If you're interested, check that out. We celebrated and brought in the new year on that live feed, and it was a lot of fun. It's really funny. You should check it out. But anyway, I thought we would first just take a look at this 2024 Paul Reed Smith guitar of mine, and I'll let you drink it up a little bit and check it out. So here it is. Isn't she pretty? Look at that. So the only things I've done to this guitar is, as far as any kind of modifications, is I put Shaler strap locks on it. And then look at that, beautiful, isn't it? And I also put PRS locking tuners on, and that, you know, those didn't come original with the guitar. But turning it over, you can see those are PRS tuners. So anyway, this is an Indonesian model, and the only other modification I did was in the back. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you'll see a little brass part right there. Well, that is a Floyd Rose tremolo stop stabilizer, and I did install that. But that's the only three things I've done to the guitar as far as any kind of modifications. But we're going to get started here, and I've got all my Music Nomad stuff out here, and we're going to first get started. I made a list of all the frets that I'm having issues with. These are all the high frets. So I'm going to go down this list, and we're going to get started. And what I'll have to do is I'll have to file down the bad frets with the Music Nomad U-files, and you can actually file your frets with your strings on, which is cool. And so we're going to get started with that first, and hopefully it won't take too long. Alright folks, we're ready to go. Before we get started, one thing I want to mention is make sure you do a setup on the guitar before you go messing with your frets. Make sure your action's been set, your truss rod relief's been set. Make sure that your nut height is correct, and just, you know, make sure all of that is set up before you start on these frets, because it's gonna cause problems down the line if you don't. So to get started, it looks like the 11th fret is where all of the bad frets start. Basically, all I did was take my rocker, and this is a Music Nomad string action gauge is what this is. It does all kinds of stuff actually, but anyway, you just take this, and so I've already gone through this, but I know the 11th fret's messed up. Well, the way I verified it is with the rocker. So you can see how it rocks. So that means that the 11th fret, which is the one that's in the middle, is too high. So what I found out was that the 11th fret, the only issues is on the high E and the B string. So that's the only part that I'm going to have to file on the 11th fret. But it looks like the 13th fret has looks like 4 of the notes are high. The low E, the A, the D, and the high E. So that would be the next one that I'm going to have to tackle. Then I'm going to have to tackle the 15th and the 17th and the 18th fret. And the 18th fret is high all the way around, so I'll have to completely file that one. And then the 20th fret. So those are all the frets I'm going to have to address. And so we're going to get started here, and I'm going to be using the Music Nomad U file, and it's the middle sized one in the kit. I'm not even sure how long that is. Probably get a measure tape and tell you here, just so I'm accurate, but it's 2 inches. So it's the 2-inch file that I'll be using. And basically I know that the 11th fret is messed up. Another thing I'll mention is before you start this, make sure you're tuned to pitch also. Because if you're taking measurements for all of this and you're not even tuned to 440 standard, you're not getting accurate readings. So we're going to start on the 11th fret, and all you're going to do is you'll slip the Music Nomad U file underneath the string, and we're going to file this down in the 11th fret for the high E and the B. And all you're going to do is you're going to move that back and forth like that. Now on the high E, be careful not to go over the beveled edge and round that off. Avoid that at all cost. And then we'll go to the B. And we're going to keep doing this until we get the rock going. So you'll just keep doing that, and then you'll take your rocker and you'll verify if it's still rocking. And it is. But anyway, that's how you do it. So I'm going to go down through here. I'm going to get all of these filed down, and then we'll go to the next phase, which is going to be the crowning. And I'll have to take the strings off to do that. So anyway, let me get going here, and we'll get these all filed down. All right, guys and gals, I got all the frets filed that was on the list, and I actually discovered 2 other spots. It was on the low E string, the 3rd fret and the 5th fret. They were also an issue, and that wasn't originally on the list. So anyway, we got everything that I had here knocked out. these U-files, I ended up using each size. So that was pretty cool. You know, having that variety is nice because, you know, your frets up here are going to be wider, you know, further apart than down here, for example. So it was really nice having those different sizes in order to file that specific fret. But we've got them all filed down and we're ready to crown them. So we're going to have to take the strings off and get ready for that. I'll be using the S file for that, and I'll have to go over that with you. And I'll plan on doing that in the morning. It kind of took me a lot longer than I thought. Sometimes that's the way it goes. You know, you got to check these frets with this rocker, and you know, you'll file down for a while and get it close and then not quite get it, you know, and then it's just a tedious process. So anyway, that's what we're going to do, and then that's all I'm going to do today. But I also wanted to mention too that you can go out and you can check out, I've got a video on leveling uneven frets that I did on my G&L Legacy guitar. So I really go over the process really well on that video. And I'm doing the same exact thing on this 2024 PRS. So go out there, check that out. Check out that video. If you want a more detailed you know, a study of what I'm doing. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I kind of, you know, I'm just kind of skipping over through this because I've already done it before, and it's not the funnest job in the world, you know. But anyway, in the morning, we'll get started on the crowning the frets, and I'll go over that with you, and that's probably a more pivotal part of it anyway. So we'll do that, and we'll get this thing dressed out real good. I'm hoping that I get the humbucker tomorrow. It's scheduled to be here tomorrow, so I'm hoping to do that because then, you know, I can get that replaced. And man, this thing's gonna rock. So anyway, till tomorrow, we'll see you. Well, it's the next day, and it looks like Jeff's out here firing up a motor. But we're gonna get started on that crowning process. But I think it's supposed to be really nice all week. So kind of weird weather in January. But anyway, we're going to get back on the crowning process, and I got a couple things I want to show you and go over as far as the filing. Before we move on to the crowning, I want to show you a couple things on that I think are important. So let's head in and get started. All right, guys and gals, we're back inside, and let's talk about fret seating. Because it's possible that the reason that your fret is high is that it didn't get seated all the way down into the fretboard. So it's highly possible that's the case. But Music Nomad, they make a gauge that you can check to see if that's the case. So let me show you that real fast. So basically, with this gauge, they've got in here, they've got a, I think it's the number 2 right here. And basically this gauge, it's 4 thousandths. And so what you do is you take that gauge, hold on a second, let me get this straightened out. All right, you take that gauge and you just pick a fret, and you'll have to move the strings out of the way. But if this slides under the fret, then your fret is too high. It hasn't seated proper all the way down into the fretboard. So it wasn't pressed all the way down during manufacture. Or it could be that, like for example, this guitar is from Indonesia. So the environment in Indonesia is different from the environment in the U.S. So there could have been some shrinkage with the wood that caused it to push them up. That's highly possible. But I just wanted to show you guys that check your fret seating, because that very well could be why the fret is too high. So now let's talk about, well, what do you do if the fret's too high and didn't get seated properly? Well, you can take it to a luthier that specializes in fretwork and have them repress it and fix it. Or if the fret is just, you know, say you could barely fit this gauge underneath the fret. Well, if the fret is in there solid into the fretboard and it's not moving and it's solid, you should be okay. You should be able to file it down and it'll be perfectly fine. But if it's a really bad case, you're going to have to take it to a luthier and have them fix it. So I just wanted to mention that, and check your fret seating. Alright guys, so the second thing I want to talk about is your fret height. So if you've got an older guitar that has been played, you're going to have, the frets are going to be worn down a little bit. So especially an old, really old guitar, you're going to have to be careful and check the fret height. And the reason you want to do that is to know if you've got enough fret to file. So Music Nomad makes it easy. And so with this gauge, they also provide number 3 gauge, and this checks your fret height. And all you do is you use your rocker, you set your rocker up there, and you use the gauge to see, here, let me do this. So you'll set the rocker up here, right? And so you're checking to see how much space is there. If you cannot fit this under your rocker, then you don't have enough fret there to file. So keep that in mind too. Make sure. Now in my case, the fret, you know, it's a brand new guitar basically. It's a 2024 model. It's only like a year and a half old. So in my case, you know, it's new frets, so I didn't have to worry about that. But that's another thing too. So I think now we're ready to move on to the crowning process. So I'm going to start getting the strings off, and we'll get this tremolo propped up with something underneath it so I can keep tension on the tremolo. And then we'll start crowning this dude. I checked and I got a notification that the humbucker is going to be here today. So we got to get going. So let's get these strings off and start crowning these frets. Alright, fellers and fellettes, I got the strings off and I got the guitar prepped for crowning. So look at there. I ended up using the Music Nomad equipment care book to prop up the tremolo, so that worked out great. And then I went ahead and used painter's tape. I got a roll of painter's tape here, and I put the tape on all the spots where I'm going to have to recrown. And I also got out here on the body so that I don't get into the finish. And So I got all that ready to go, and if you notice, I wrote down, you know, to the left of the fret that I had to file. So I got them numbered all the way down the neck. And the reason that I'm doing this is a rosewood fretboard is a little more forgiving. If you get into the fretboard with the file, you know, it's not going to mar it up real bad. But a maple fretboard is a completely different story. You've got to make sure you don't get into your fretboard because it's going to leave a mark and it's not going to look good. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to get started here in a minute. But I also wanted to show you that I got the humbucker in just a few minutes ago. So there's the JB model humbucker, and that will be installed right here. And then I also got a pack of Elixir electric strings, 9 to 42, and those will go on whenever I get the project finished. So that's where we're at. And anyway, let me get you back up on the stand and we'll get started with the crowning. Alright, we're ready to start crowning these frets. And to do that, we're going to use the Music Nomad S file. And it gives you two options. It's got a file for wide frets and it's got a file for narrow medium frets. And so we've got to determine which file we have to use. So Music Nomad, on their fret gauge, they provide you a little notch on the bottom there, and you're supposed to let it rest on your fret, and if it rests on your fretboard, then you have a medium, narrow, or medium fret. If it doesn't rest on the fretboard, then you have a wide fret. And mine won't completely set on the fretboard, so I have a wide fret. So using the wide file on the Music Nomad S file, we'll get started. I've already done fret number 3 and fret number 5. So let's come on down here and start working on fret number 11. And I'll do that one for you real fast, just kind of show you what the process is. And then after that, I'll go ahead and finish all of them, and then we'll move on to the polishing. So you just place the file on the fret, and you just start filing, and it'll kind of have like a, you can hear it, you know, it'll have a coarse sound at first, but then once it gets it filed down completely, it'll just bottom out. But you want to make sure you file the fret evenly. And this file will not affect the height of the fret. It merely just crowns it. That's all it does. So we're getting close, just based off the sound of it. And then I like to take the magnifying glass, because you can really see a lot better. And yes, it's fully crowned. Yeah, that didn't take long at all. So there you go, guys. That's how you do it. There's nothing to it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of these frets, and then I'll come back and we will start the polishing process. So anyway, let me get going here and get this done. All right, I got the frets crowned, so all the filing is done. And so now what we're going to do is the last part of getting the frets done is going to be the polishing. And we're going to use this tracer fret finishing kit from Music Nomad. And basically it's a micro mesh. And you got 4 different micro meshes here to use. And so you'll hit the frets one time with each one of these micro mesh, and it's going to remove the scratches and file marks and really get them smooth and shiny. So that's what we're going to do. Now the kit, it's got this little thing that holds the micro mesh, and you just slip it on there. And we're starting with a number 1, of course. And you know, the micro mesh, number 1 is the most coarse, number 4 is the least. So all we're going to do, I'm going to start down here and sit up there. But we'll start on this 20th fret here, and all you're going to do is, you can use this too. I'm going to use it just to keep that fretboard safe. But we're starting on fret number 20, and all we're going to do is just sand that down. You know what? I don't even think I need that. I think it's going to be fine just like this. And so, well, I don't know. Kind of felt better with that, actually. So anyway, you just start polishing, and you can turn this mesh around so you get a fresh spot on the mesh. So like if you're using a spot and it gets worn down, you can turn it. So that's cool. But that's all there is to it. And so you're going to hit these frets with each one of these micro meshes. By the time you get to the number 4 micro mesh, the thing's polished. So that's basically all there is to it. Just hit it just like that. And even I can tell, even just from this one pass with the number 1, it's already shining. So that's how you do it. Let me do the rest of these. I'll go through here and I'll get all these frets polished, and then we can move on to that pickup. So let me get going here. Success, guys. I got the frets polished and they look awesome. I also used some of this Proline lemon oil fretboard conditioner and put that on here after I got done. But that is the final deal right there. So this thing here ended up being really handy, and I think that's another music nomad tool. But you know, you can just set that right over the fret like that and do all the polishing you need to do. So that came in really handy. And so yeah, that Tracer's fret finishing kit works great. I've used it a couple times now, and both times did a great job. So anyway, we're done with the frets, and we can move on and start installing this pickup. But I think on that I'm going to wait until tomorrow, because it's already getting like 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I got to eat and do some other things. So we'll get started on this, putting this pickup in tomorrow, and drop that thing in and then get it restrung and hopefully get it fired up. You know, I'd like to do that, but it's just going to depend on how everything goes. But anyway, we'll talk at you tomorrow. Well, it's the next day, and it's kind of looks real overcast. Looks like we're going to get some rain today, but we're going to get back on this guitar, get that humbucker installed today. But I just wanted to stop and ask you to like and subscribe. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and it really helps out the channel. And hit the notification bell, that way you'll know when I post new videos. It really helped me out. I got a little over 500 subscribers right now, and I'm hoping to get to 1,000 so I can monetize this. And if so, you know, I'll be able to afford to bring you more content like this. So if you like this content, like and subscribe. But I guess we're gonna get inside, and I'll have to get my soldering station set up, and we'll get started on this humbucker. It's gonna be a cool guitar when I get done. But anyway, let's get going on that. All right, guys and gals, we're gonna get started, and I just wanted to show you real quick how clean the wiring is. So PRS does a really good job. Hope that glare isn't so bad, but there's the wiring right there. And so I'm gonna have to dig into here and find the wires going to that bridge humbucker. And then we'll go ahead and get this old humbucker pulled out of here. But also I wanted to show you, that is the Floyd Rose tremolo stabilizer I was talking about earlier in the video. And that thing has really been nice. It's really helped the tremolo system from going out of tune. And so anyway, I wanted to share those two things. And so I'm going to get started here and get this humbucker out of here, and we'll see how we'll have to disconnect in there in the cavity. I'll show you that once I get to that point. But let me get started here, and hopefully this won't take too long. I'm hoping, you know. I've done this a few times, so maybe I've gotten a little faster. Alright, guys and gals, I got the old pickup out, and wasn't that big of a deal. But I wanted to show you something real fast. This is the old humbucker here, and there's the new one. And so whenever you, or this is what I like to do anyway, is whenever I take an old pickup out, I always make sure to cut the wires as close to the solder point as you can. That way, if you want to install this humbucker in another guitar, you'll be able to do it. You'll have plenty of wire there. So this on the back, it's you know, it tells you, you know, what it come out of. It says somewhere in there, it says, yeah, PRS 8515. So that's the pickup. But I'm going to save that. I may end up using that on something else. I don't know yet. But I always save them because these humbuckers aren't cheap. Like this JB model right here is $100. So this is a $100 upgrade I'm putting in this guitar. So let me get it mounted in there, and then we'll start wiring this thing up. Success! I've got the Seymour Duncan mounted in the guitar, and she looks really nice. So now we're ready to wire it up, and I just wanted to show you, I wrote down the Seymour Duncan humbuckers are different than a lot of other pickups, the way as far as the color coding. So on mine, on the JB model, your black wire is going to be your hot wire, and in my case it's going to the switch. And then the white and red wire will be soldered together, and then the bare and green will be together, and it'll go directly to the ground. And so that's how it should be wired. Now it's a little different. The PRS humbucker was a little different. They had, I believe it was the red and black wires were soldered together, and then their white wire was their hot, which went to the switch. So it's a little different with the Seymour Duncan. You just gotta, you can go to SeymourDuncan.com and check out their wiring diagrams. They also, when you get a new Seymour Duncan, they give you a wiring diagram with the humbucker. So just do your homework, you know, and just a kind of a process of deduction, you know. So anyway, I'm going to get started on wiring this up, and then I'll come back at you once I get it wired. And then after that, we're going to put strings on this thing and plug it up to an amp, see what she sounds like. So I'm looking forward to that. So let's get going here. All right, folks, I got the humbucker wired in. It wasn't too bad. It took me a little bit, but it's tedious work. You kind of got to expect that, you know. But here she is, and I've already got it hooked up to my Fender amp that's sitting behind me. And we're going to go ahead and do a test real fast. And the best way to do this, since the strings aren't on here, is you can just tap on the pickup. Right now it's on the humbucking pickup, volume, tone, all the way up. So the humbucker is working. Now, this has a push-pull on the tone. And the way that PRS has it set up is it's the humbucker and the middle pickup. And then you go to the middle position, and you would think it would be the middle pickup, but on the PRS it is the back pickup and the front pickup. See, the middle pickup isn't even on. Then when you do the push-pull, I believe it is the back pickup and just the front coil on the front pickup, I believe. I can't remember how that all goes, but that's another thing that I don't like about how they got it wired. But anyway, the front pickup is obviously the humbucker here. When the push-pull is on, I believe the middle is, yeah, the middle is on too. So anyway, there you go. She's working good. So I got that job done. I'm pretty happy about it. And so the plan is tonight I'm going to put the strings on it and then get it tuned up, let it sit overnight. And then tomorrow we'll fire this thing up, see what she sounds like. So anyway, that's going to be all for today. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. Well, hey everybody, it's next day, and man, it's nice out. It's like close to 70 degrees. And here it is, the first week of January. Who would have thunk it, you know? But anyway, the PRS is done. And so I got strings on it last night, and she's ready to go. So we're gonna head inside the house, and I'm gonna hook it up through the my Fender Hot Rod Deluxe amp, and that's a whole nother story. I'm not exactly very fond of this amp. The overdrive channel sounds horrible. Clean channel sounds good, but I think it's a 2014 model, 2013 maybe. Fender Hot Rod Deluxe 3, I think it is. But we're going to hook that PRS up through there and see what she sounds like. I'll also give you a little review and talk about a few things, and we're going to have some fun. So let's head in and get it done. All right, fellers and fellettes, there she is. Man, she looks good. There's the new pickup, and the frets are done, and the frets really turned out awesome too. So I'm happy with everything that I got done. So the result couldn't have been any better, to be honest with you. So there she is. Now I've got the cover off because I wanted to show you guys something, and we'll flip this over. Okay, I have to be careful here. So let's go around the other side. All right, so here is the final deal right here. And like I said earlier about the wiring, you got the white and the red are soldered together and heat shrinked. Then you've got the green and the bare wire grounded, or going to ground, so it's going to chassis. Then you got the black wire here going to the switch, and that's how the Seymour Duncan JB model is wired. So just wanted to show you that before I put the cover back on. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to hook this thing up through this Fender Hot Rod Deluxe that I just talked about. And we'll see how this PRS sounds. I'm looking forward to this. Alright guys and gals, I got everything hooked up. I'm ready to go. We'll start out with clean channel first. I want you to hear that. And so it's pretty smooth. Alright, so that was the clean channel. Now let's go over to the overdrive and see about just the crunch sound. Now this is just on the humbucker, so sounds great, doesn't it? Alright, now this is more overdrive, and this is for more like for solos and stuff. Cool. So there's the different sounds. I'm not going to get too out of control here. I just wanted to show you guys kind of what the guitar sounds like. And basically, my plan for this is to I'm going to install another pickup, single coil in here. I haven't decided what I'm going to put in there yet. It's going to be another Seymour Duncan probably. But I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to rewire this because I don't like the push-pull on the tone knob, and so I'd rather have the push-pull on my volume. And also the way that PRS has this thing wired, it's all kinds of goofy. I just don't like it. First of all, on the humbucker in the back, it's not a true coil split. So you know, I want a true coil split on the humbucker, and you know, so I'm going to look at completely revamping the wiring. But other than that, the guitar is pretty much done. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's an awesome guitar. But there you go, guys. You know, you can do simple maintenance stuff like this And yeah, it's tedious work. It takes a little bit of time, but in the end, you'll be glad. It's really not that hard. You just got to have the patience to do it. And also, I was going to mention too, I have no fret buzz. See, so I could go down each one of the strings, and so we definitely improved this guitar with the frets and the humbucker in the back. That's a $100 upgrade, like I said earlier, and so I'm really happy with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get updates on new videos. And in the next episode, I'm going to be working on my Mesa Boogie Subway Rocket guitar amp. And I'm going to be installing new tubes and doing other little maintenance stuff on it. So look for that in the next video. And I guess just keep on picking, guys.